and welcome back to another episode of Matchday Diaries brought to you by the Hockey Paper. Today we have travelled to Bedford Hockey Club as it's their President's Day today, and they have ages all from under 8s all the way up to over 55s playing out there on the pitch. We've just arrived here at the Clubhouse, so we're going to go and take a look. Inside Bedford's Clubhouse is a beautiful bar. Got a very lovely setup here, and this is Angus, resident barman, I heard.
Well, not really resident barman, more guy that can't play hockey anymore, so he comes to the club and serves people drinks. This is the most important part of the club, of course, because this keeps everyone going as they are running around playing hockey. But yeah, we are very lucky to have such a good number of volunteers that come and help the club play and keep moving. So yeah, it's good to see you, Emily. Welcome to Bedford Hockey Club.
Thank you so much for having us. Is there a good social scene at Bedford? Do people tend to stick around after the games and get themselves a pint?
Yeah, indeed. So we're very fortunate that we've got many different teams. We've got men's teams, ladies teams, we've got children's teams, we've got over 55 teams, we've got vets. And one of the things that we do is we put a tournament every year where, just imagine you have people from the first team in a pot, people from the second team in a pot, third team, fourth team, fifth team, sixth team, seventh team. And then we select one per team and they become a team for that tournament. And what that does is encourages everyone to have an understanding of how the club works and get to know each other. So socially, absolutely, we're very blessed to have this facility. And yeah, we do lots of fun things, especially when the World Cup was on and the rugby, etc. So yeah.
Angus, thank you so much.
Hey, you're welcome.
So one of the things that Bedford Hockey Club is really proud of is something called walking hockey, which you can see happening right behind me. Now, I'm not quite dressed in the right kit. They've tried to get me to join in, but I thought we'd go and take a little look about what it's all about. Jean, I need you over here for a sec. What are you guys doing? Tell me, what is walking hockey?
Walking hockey is really very similar to the normal version of the game, but it's obviously played much slower, and we use a bigger ball, which means it runs a bit slower, and it's very inclusive. We have an age range. We often get under 6s play, and the oldest we've had was a lady well in her 80s, and people with disabilities. It's very inclusive.
I'm guessing the one rule, which you can infer from the name, is the one rule that you have to walk.
That is the one rule that we really struggle with. It's so hard not to run.
There's running going on here.
There is, and the thing is, people think that they're walking, but it's very hard not to run. But we do try.
Well, I'll let you get stuck in. Go on, chat to you later. So now I'm joined by Elaine. You've just been doing the walking hockey, right? Yes. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved.
So a friend of mine suggested I come to walking hockey, and I said I couldn't think of anything more boring. But I totally changed my mind about that because I was here for one session and I just totally hooked. Absolutely totally hooked.
What is it about it that you love so much about walking hockey?
I love the camaraderie. I love the motivation. The team are absolutely wonderful. They if you're not sure about something, they'll just stop. They'll tell you it's fun. It's inclusive. It's really lovely. And I thought that something like hockey would be quite what's the word I'm looking for? Cliquey. Yeah. But it wasn't, not at all. I mean, they really are very motivational and inclusive. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I don't put the hockey stick down anymore.
Oh, I'm so glad. It looks like so much. Like, I want to pick up a stick now. I might have a go later. Thank you. Cool, so I'm with Rebecca, who's been playing this morning as well. I've heard you love hockey. Tell me why.
Because when I was born, I really wanted to play hockey, and now my mum taught me how to play hockey, and now I'm playing it.
And what's it been like this morning? Have you enjoyed playing with lots of kids? What's it been like?
It's been crazy.
Been crazy. Have you been scoring lots of goals?
Yes.
Yes. And what other sport would you play if you didn't play hockey?
I'd play netball.
Netball. But hockey's your favourite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. And if you had a favourite hockey player, is there somebody that you aspire to be or somebody that you're a big fan of in the hockey world?
Jean.
Jean! Come in, Jean. Why is she your hockey superstar?
I'm not sure.
I think it's probably because of my dog.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen, Jean's got the cutest dog ever, who's the club mascot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got that, like giving the dog lots of cuddles. Yeah. Cool. Well, I'm gonna let you go back and play hockey, okay? Because I know how much you love it.
Okay. Bye.
So these guys, I think, are pretty crazy. We've got William and Ben, who are goalies here at Bedford Hockey Club. Guys, my first question, what makes you want to stand in goal and get balls whacked at you all day?
It's fun. It's kind of physically demanding, but you take hits. Why not?
Why not? I love the attitude. And did you start playing outfield and then decide to be a goalie, or did you always want to be a goalie?
I used to let some goals in, and I thought I could try and prevent that, so I decided to be a goalkeeper.
I like it. And what would you say, if people are choosing between being an outfield player or a goalie, what's so great about being a goalie?
You get to see everything from the pads, and you get to see everything from behind, so you can see their mistakes, what they're doing, and you can try and tell them to improve.
Nice. So like talking from the back, helping your team out, really cool. Ben, how about you? What do you love so much about being a goalie?
Well, I don't know. I just love sliding around, and also having some action where the ball's coming quite fast at me. When there's nothing really happening, it's not that great being a goalkeeper.
But when it is, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Cool. So we're now finding ourselves just in front of the clubhouse, and I am joined by Cheryl. Cheryl, what's your role at Bedford? Because you've been telling me loads of stuff that you're involved with. So what's your official title? But more importantly, what are you doing to make Bedford such a great club?
I think my official title is Deputy Chair, but I'm a player, I'm a parent, I help out with the coaching and help out with the running of the club. So probably like a lot of other volunteers around the country, just a bit of everything really. So
That's awesome. And particularly, you were telling me you get very involved with the juniors, right? So let's start down there. What's happening with the juniors at Bedford?
do you know, we're so excited. So our youngest member, I think, is 3. Our oldest members, we've got a couple of octogenarians, so I think that's about as specific as I'll get with their age. But our juniors has just been fantastic. We've had a great sponsor with a local company called Tables Rock Stars, which I'm sure everybody will have heard of. And they have enabled us to just put some money into the training of the juniors, get some nice equipment for them, and the kids love it. They absolutely love it. They're down here every Sunday. And we have men's ones players as well as ladies ones players that come down and help with the coaching for the under 6s, under 8s, and under 10s and under 12s. So.
I'm sure everyone, like other people listening to this, will be quite interested in that sponsorship side of things. Was it difficult to get a sponsor for a junior section in particular?
Well, I think hockey in general really struggles to bring money in. I mean, most of the clubs out there, we're trying to raise money for pitches and stuff. And just trying to get some money from local clubs to come in and sponsor. And you have to think about what can you do with those sponsors? Can you help promote them? So we've been really fortunate. We have Tables Rock Stars that have done a great job with their juniors. We've had 4 years with Woods Hardwick at the senior club, and that's now going to move to Sierra Building, who are going to be our sponsor for the next 4 years. And also, we'll talk about the development centre, but we have DBFB, who are a wonderful company and have stepped in to sponsor that for 4 years. And it just takes the pressure off and enables us to look and say, can we pay for some coaching as well? We have lots of volunteers, but at certain levels, you need to pay for some coaching. You have to pay for the pitches, etc. So it helps a lot.
Yeah, and it sounds like you're doing an excellent job to get those sponsors on board as well. You mentioned their development centre, right? So tell us a little bit more about what that is, how it's come about.
So the development centre is something really exciting. And it's not just Bedford Hockey Club. We have 6 clubs across the region that maybe don't have enough kids in their club to do age group training. So we have under 14, under 16, under 18 training here. We have phenomenal level coaching, and we have specialist goalkeeper coaching. All 6 of those clubs are sending players to the development centre, and then the kids get that training here, and then they go back and make their club stronger by playing league in their club. And we believe that if we help build all of the clubs in the region, that's better for everybody. We've got something for everybody. We've got 7 ladies teams, 7 men's teams, plus a thriving vets environment. And we don't want to just be about the elite hockey. We want to provide something for anybody that comes and says, can I pick up a stick and give it a go? And the answer is yes, you can.
Oh, it's just amazing to hear that. Cheryl, thank you so much. Good luck in your game. So we're very lucky. The men's ones game is about to kick off. And now we get to chat to Dave Hodgson, who is the elected mayor of Bedford, who has come down particularly because it's President's Day today. But you've never really got involved with hockey before. So what's it like being here?
Well, I've been down a couple of times before over time, but it's good to see this. I've been talking to the club about extending the pitch, and they're trying to raise the money, obviously. So it's good to see that. I'm trying to think how many years ago since I last picked a hockey stick up, and it's a long years ago. And to see the difference in the sticks nowadays is quite amazing.
Yeah.
And also you see people padding up to be goalkeepers is quite amazing as well. But it's great to see so many people here, to see all ages. Looking forward to the game, and hopefully Bedford do really well.
Yeah, I really hope so as well. It'd be brilliant if they won, wouldn't it? And Bedford as a community, how important is it to have clubs like this which go from 3 years old right up to 75?
No, it's really. I mean, in the sports awards this year, Bedford Hockey got Club of the Year. They involve so many different age ranges. From the sort of under 8s up to the veterans. It's good to see that. It's good to see how busy it is on a Saturday and Sunday, and the fact that we got a pitch that can be used all week is really good news as well.
No, it's amazing. And final question then, you said about extending the pitch. Other than that, what do you think Bedford could get help with or do more to kind of extend its reach and its its impact even further?
Well, I think the advertising and the promotion that the club are doing to try and get more players in, being Club of the Year, Sports Club of the Year, really helps. What we've got to try and do is to see if they can get the money around to actually extend the pitch so they can have more things happening here and just help them actually promote the sport.
It's brilliant that you've come down. Thank you so much for chatting with us today. Thanks,
much.
Dave. So the men's game is about to kick off behind us, and I found some guys dressed in yellow. You guys aren't playing, right? No. But these guys are umpires. Yes. Umpires. So I've got Nigel, Gary, and Batu, and I've heard from numerous people today that they couldn't do it without you. You guys are what makes this club tick. You help out continuously. Why be an umpire? Big question, but why choose this?
I only got involved really because my 2 children were involved in playing here and they were short of umpires, so I took the umpire course and did it. Amazing. And been umpiring now for about 5 years.
That's brilliant, and I know that quite a lot of people would always say I'd prefer to play than umpire. What is special about umpiring? That we need to get more umpires through the system, right? So how do we encourage younger people to come and umpire?
Personally, I think the problem is that not many ex-players want to umpire. I think Gary didn't really have a hockey background. He came back from other sports. I played hockey since the age of 12 because my school didn't play any other sports. And then I've been through the ranks playing, injured my knee, thought we're going to give back to the sport. And I think ex-players make better umpires, but even the youngsters who are playing now, and there's obviously a lot more youngsters playing, they're encouraged to do an umpiring course as part of the juniors and the training. So I think you can't have a decent game without decent umpires. It can ruin a game if you've got bad umpires, and I'm sure you've seen it on your travels. Yeah.
No, it's brilliant, and you guys are what allows these games to happen, right? And I think there is a lack of young people coming through. But guys, thank you so much. So I'm now joined by President of Bedford Hockey Club, Rob Oakley. Rob, telling me you've been president here for 7 years, is that correct?
That's right, yes.
And how did you get into being a president of Bedford Hockey Club then?
It's a long story because I've been a member of the club for probably 40 years now, nearly. And the previous president, a chap called Brian Woodrow, who sadly passed away a couple of years ago, he was very important in setting up the club and strengthening the club and so on. And after he'd been vice president for 19 years, he turned to me one day and said, right, it's your turn now. So I ended up as president.
Quick as that?
As quick as that, yeah.
Oh, amazing. But you were a player before that at Bedford,
Yes.
right, for a number of years.
Well, if it hadn't been for a shoulder injury, I'd still be playing at the moment, umpiring at present. But yes, I played for the club I played one game last season, so for 39 seasons. But not this season yet.
And obviously this day is named President's Day that's going on at Bedford today. Take us through the day, what's happening, why is President's Day a thing here in Bedford?
President's Day is really just a day when we recognise past members of the club who've contributed hugely to the history of the club, because the club is actually 130 years old, so we're only just passing through. And the whole principle is to keep the game going in perpetuity and keep the club running. And the people that come along as invited guests today are past presidents, some past supporters, a lot past players. And it's really a day of recognising their contribution to the worth of the club and giving them an opportunity to see how the club is still flourishing. Yeah.
And it definitely is flourishing. Like, we've been so impressed by the age ranges today, all the work that's going on with junior sections as well. What, in kind of your words, makes Bedford such a special hockey club?
It's really a family club. We're very much based around the local community. We don't have people coming in long distances, maybe one or two. There's a lot of us with 3 generations associated with the club. So it's very much a family club. And we all look after and care for each other. Yeah.
So lovely. So lovely to hear that. And final question then. What do you think other clubs, if they're watching this, reading about Bedford Hockey Club, what can they learn from what you are doing as a club and take into their setups in other parts of the country?
I think we started off back in 1991 with only £5,000 in the bank as a club. And there were several clubs around about. We all got together, worked as one group to set up this facility, which cost around about £700,000. So from a club that only had 5,000, if you work, you apply for grants, local grants, national grant awarding bodies, and we accumulated enough money to actually set this facility up. So, there are ways of succeeding.
Yeah, and it feels like this is such a central hub and a home, which is brilliant. Now, I think we want to get out and watch the second half of hockey, don't we? Yes. Rob, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Pleasure.
You all, very exciting. And I've got Tony with me, who has been at the club all day doing lots and lots. Tony, what's your day been like so far? Tell us what you've been doing.
It started early. I came down, I helped coach the goalies for the under-10s and the under-12s. Mm-hmm. My wife and my daughter have been playing on the other pitch, both for the ladies over 55s, but you add them together, they just about get there. And yeah, I thought I'd take the opportunity to watch the men's ones while I'm here. It's been a fun match.
Really nice. And you're enjoying the game? Any star players out there for you?
Well, the star players for me are the ones I know. So I love Pete in goal, and there's Dave Appleton and Rich Evans, who come down on Sunday mornings to help coach their kids, who are under 8s and under 10s now. Okay. And it's really nice to have them come down and be there with all the junior section.
For sure, and we've heard that a lot today, people coming down, volunteering, very family orientated club. Do you think they can do it? I'll let you get back to watching in a minute.
I hope so.
Thank you.
Cheers, thank you very much.
Now I'm very excited to be joined by Jean and Miri, who looks gorgeous in her little hat. But Jean has been fundamental in helping us out here and organising everything today at Bedford Hockey Club, who I think just scored, which is amazing. You would have heard the cheer behind us, which is fantastic. So I think that means they're 3-2 up, right?
Yes.
Brilliant, brilliant. So Jean's official role is publicity officer, right? Yes. But you do so much more at this club. So first of all, tell us about what you're doing here at Bedford.
Well, I mean, primarily I came originally as a player, and I think it's fair to say that it's more than just a club to me. It's my family, really. You know, my friends are all from here, and it's just a wonderful club. And although I still play a bit in goal, I generally do the Masters, because we've got so many goalkeepers, which I'm sure Maddie Hinch has been responsible for that. We've got so many young goalkeepers, and I don't want to stop them getting to play. So I will play club hockey if they need me, but primarily I do the over 45s and the over 55s, but I also take lots of photographs. Yes, I spend my spare time down here, and I just try and capture the games as much as possible, and just share the photos across the club. I think you've probably already gathered we have a lot of teams, and I think that it's important to push the lower teams as well as the top teams, because that's where our future is coming from. And I'm on the committee, for the club, so get involved with that.
It's brilliant. I feel like very honoured to talk to you, because you are one of those people that makes club hockey tick in this country, and this probably wouldn't be happening today without you, right? It's amazing. And
Miri,
your mascot.
Yes.
Beautiful.
and I should mention the walking hockey, which obviously you've seen as well, which I wasn't the one that instigated originally. That was our ladies club, captain who set it up originally as a sort of trial, and then I've sort of taken it over. So we've been doing it about 4 years now, and it's just phenomenal. The people that have come back to hockey, the people that have come to hockey for new, people who've had injuries and illness that are now playing. So it's fantastic.
Oh, it's amazing. Jean, you're fabulous. Thank you so much. I'll let you get back to enjoying the hockey, and hopefully we get the win there. Yes. So I'm now joined by Bruno. Now, Bruno, you have a very interesting affiliation to the club. You're family orientated here, but as we can tell by your jumper, you're also the sponsor of the junior section, right? So tell us a little bit about how that came about, what that means for you and what that means for the club.
I've been involved with the club for a number of years, actually, since, for the last 20-25 years. I met my wife here on a Sunday morning at junior hockey. So obviously we were like 13 or 14 back then. And then when we had kids and we moved back to Bedford, we knew that hockey was going to be part of our lives, so we brought them here. And then we're lucky that we work in the field of education with our company, and it kind of felt right to sponsor or put forward some money to support the development of the club, which was doing well at the time, but we thought that it could go even further with a bit of extra financial help.
That's brilliant. And what do you hope to ultimately achieve with that sponsorship?
We're hoping that this becomes a centre for excellence in junior hockey. It's one step at a time. Obviously, we start where we are and keep moving forward every year, but the coaching keeps improving, the resources keep improving, the commitment from the children and the parents also keeps improving. It's been great to see, especially in the last 12 months. We hosted our first tournament, which we haven't done in a number of years, and we're participating in more tournaments, and we're more competition ready. So actually, this is great for the local schools and for the region.
No, it's fantastic, and hopefully seeing some of those juniors come and play. And I know it's all kicking off behind us, but have you enjoyed the game so far? I think St Albans might have scored another goal, but
yeah, they've just equalised, so it's now 3-3. So there's only a dying few minutes of the game for the Maroons to clinch the win, which they do need to do.
Oh God, right. Well, we'll get back to it and cheer them on.
All
Thank
right.
you so much.
You. All right.
So the game's just finished. I'm joined by Richard Evans, who plays for Bedford. Unfortunate result there in the end, 4-3, super close. But how are you feeling about the game?
Disappointing game. St Albans is always a massive grudge match, and we drew in the first half of the season against them at their place, and it was a big game today. We were hoping for a win. We were switched on, we were ready, and we were up most of the game. I think just a slight lack of concentration at some key moments in that final quarter, and they snatched the win. A couple of scrappy goals from them. I think, in the main, we deserved the result today, and going into that final quarter, I was very, very hopeful we were going to get it. But fair play to them. They played well, they pushed hard, and I think on another day, the result should have been ours.
Always tough against local rivals as well, and you had an excellent crowd coming down to watch. What's the rest of the season then looking like? Surely only a couple of games left, but what's the ambition now?
A couple of games. Our aim now is to stay in the league. We should do. We're a very strong team. We've competed really, really well in the league this year. Big shout out to the crowd. They were amazing today. They were like a 12th man for us. Great to see so many people here today, and just absolutely gutted we couldn't bring it home for them in that final quarter.
Well, Richard, thanks so much. Let you go for your team. Cheers. Thank you. So the game's now over. I'm joined by David and Vince, who've just come off the pitch. Guys, unfortunate result, but how was the game out there? I'll start with you, David.
I think it was a good game. I think, we got into got our noses in front. We're playing well, playing some good stuff, and unfortunately, I just think lapse in concentration at times, and just a couple of key moments didn't go our way, and congratulations to St Albans. They probably shaved it today, and just basically, disappointed for the guys. They put on a good fight, but just wasn't to be.
Sometimes it's just not to be, hey, but it was great watching. You guys had an awesome crowd. Tell us a little bit about your season up to this point and what's left for the last couple of games. What's your ambition?
Well, to win both the last two games, I think is definitely the ambition. Definitely within our grasp. We've been a little bit unfortunate after Christmas. We've had a few injuries and stuff like that, which I think has hampered us to the second half of the season. But yeah, I think it's definitely still within our hands, and more than confident that we'll stay up this season. So.
Brilliant. And staying up this season, obviously the ambition. What about the next couple of seasons? Is there aspirations to go even further than that, get promoted? What's the feeling in the group?
Well, I think first and foremost, I think the most important thing we get the juniors down, and we have a good junior setup here, and we've just got to get more juniors involved. And we have a terrific junior setup in the morning, Sunday mornings, and we've got to get more of those guys involved. And they are our future, so we've just got to get them, bringing through and coming through, and get out there and get more kids from all of the other schools. We've got a few schools. It's a predominantly the same school, but I think we've got to go out there and get as many kids as we can do, and aim to the Surbiton's and some of these fantastic clubs have great setups, and that's what we've got to emulate. And when we do that, the players will take care of themselves, because we'll get lots of players coming through. But we have some really good young players coming through. So obviously the ambitions this year to stay up and stay in the league, and then going forward, looking to progress as high as we feasibly can.
Yeah. And for sure, and we've heard so much about the talent centre and everything that's happening here as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Last question, because we've heard lots of people say how much they love Bedford Hockey Club. What, in your eyes, Vince, makes it such a special club, and what can other clubs around the country learn from what Bedford is doing to help create that atmosphere as well?
I mean, their junior setup is phenomenal. If you come down on a Sunday morning, there's probably 50, 60, 70 kids down here, which is awesome. There's a great family atmosphere, as I'm sure you've seen today. Everyone's getting along, great clubhouse setup, friendly service and stuff like that. And it's really, really good. And it's a community sport. You can see there's so much going on here. There's always car parks always full, so it's a really, really good thing. I think if you just involve the local people, and like Dave said, involve more of the local schools. We had 3, I think, juniors in our team today, and that's just such a good thing, because they're all local boys, so it just goes a long way. So,
excellent, guys. Thank you so much for chatting with me. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So there we are. We're now at the end of what has turned out to be a beautiful day here at Bedford Hockey Club. Firstly, we'd like to thank everyone we've spoken to and Bedford for being such amazing hosts today. We've spoken to players, we've spoken to juniors, we've spoken to umpires, and we've spoken to the president on what's been the President's Day at this club. Thank you for hosting us. It's been great to find out a little bit more about what makes this club tick. Now, if you want your club to get involved, don't hesitate to reach out at marketing@thehockeypaper.co.uk. Thank you.